Hey guys, this is Joe Deckelmeyer with Screen Rant at Comic-Con 2023 with the creators of Dragon Prince, Mystery of Aaravos. How you guys doing today?
Good, how are you?
Awesome.
I'm doing great. I am doing great. You guys just getting into the con?
I just got here. I think these guys got here a little earlier, right?
Yesterday. I'm not just getting here.
Well, I am with...
Most boring answer.
I'm with Aaron Ehas.
Yep.
I get that right?
Yeah, you nailed
I got
it.
it right.
Yeah.
Justin Richmond?
Yes.
And Vilas Sponsberg.
Oh, that's close. I'll take it.
What? Tell me the pronunciation.
Vilas Spangspear.
Oh, man.
Oh, he's got the
I'm going to say it
accent,
like
come
you.
on.
Vihas Sponsberg.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'll take it.
Just like the famous 17th century Danish sailor.
Yeah.
Listen, my last name is hard enough too. Deckelmeyer is not, like, I always get it mispronounced also, so I feel the pain. But we're here to talk about Dragon Prince. Let's talk about it. Now, the relationships in Season 5 have really come a long way since Season 1, and they're as real as you can be in a fantasy series. Can you talk to me about developing those relationships and what's the hardest and easiest relationships in the Season 5 to develop?
I don't want that
You want one? I'll take that one.
Yeah, that one's hard.
The hardest and the easiest relationships. Oh, geez. I mean, they're all hard. When you're writing relationships, it's always tricky to try and make sure that the voices are coming through and they sound like themselves and they're behaving like hopefully the fans want them to and you want them to, but sometimes they don't want to and you have to write it differently. But I think the easier path was to see where the Callum and Raylo relationship at least was headed. I think it's sort of a tricky relationship, but I think that was an easier one to sort of see where it was going. But I do think that Claudia and Terry and Viren was tricky to try and sort of interweave those two stories because like Viren's not even awake, right, for most of it, and he's having his own thing going on. So I think that one was a little bit trickier, especially for this season to get to work.
Anybody else? No, negative. Well, which pairing of characters was kind of your favorite to explore this season? Or which grouping, I should say.
I mean, seeing seeing Viren and Aaravos interact when they did and as they did was, you see so much growth in Viren's character and how far he's come and how different this encounter is. And obviously it has some stakes to it. So I loved that.
Amazing. Can we talk about Ezrin for a second? Because he's grown up a lot since we've seen him in Season 1. And Soren has become a great balance, counterbalance of, wait for the character. Now, he's a king at such a young age. How does he kind of handle the weight of that? And where does he see himself at this juncture in his life?
I think he has, great mentors all around him. Great friends, his family as well. But there's definitely, there's a big challenge. You have to juggle that. You can hopefully, lean on all your family and your friends throughout, but sometimes you have to, to make some rough and tough decisions.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Claudia is morally extremely complicated. How does she see herself and the spectrum of like good and evil?
I think she sees herself as absolutely good, and she loves her family. And I think she's heard her father say things like talking about doing whatever's necessary, however dangerous, however vile, or whatever he's saying. And she believes that, right? Like, in the name of love and for your family, you'll do what it takes, right? Even if it hurts, even if it feels bad or off. And I think that's a part of what's driving her evolution as a character and her complication.
Now, seeing some of the creatures in Season 5 are incredible. Like, they're gorgeous to look at. Can you talk to me about the design process that went into creating these creatures?
You should take that one.
Yeah, so, we have a great design team, a great art director, and we basically open it up. Like, the great, when you read the script, there's usually great stage direction and a very inspiring, dialogue that sort of, informs the design team, who is this character? But at the same time, it's very open. Like, we let all the different designers give it a spin, and we often have multiple designers work on the same characters. And we have some, on our team, we have some in Vancouver, and it's really like, it's never just one designer who's, that's always the one we go with. No, it's really, an inspiring team effort.
Now, this is an incredible original IP. Can you talk to me about the fun and challenges of world building this IP for long-form storytelling? Because we're in season 5, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys are planning to go at least 7 seasons, correct?
You said it perfectly. At least.
Yeah.
This story arc is 7 seasons, or this Dragon Prince is 7 seasons. I don't want to get in trouble.
No, yeah.
Okay. It is really, really, really hard, but it's also like a humbling kind of honor and a joy to be able to create it, and also to be able to do that with a team of inspired, writers and artists and everyone who's working together to build Xadia is inspiring us all the time. Some of it is like keeping track of things and having moments where you're like, oh my God, wait, was that 350 years ago or was that 450 years ago? And well, that would mean so-and-so is dead. And so sometimes it's like, as you're building the mythology, you have these complicated things that you have to sort. And like, honestly, there are things you mess up and you hope fans don't notice them, or later you're like, oh, the character who said that was lying, or just didn't know. But yeah, the part of the honor of it is really like building for an audience that notices and cares. And we talk about this idea of building this really detailed, dimensional world, and that's true of the characters as well as the world, but where you push so far to the edges of what seems like you've explored so far, and then you peer through kind of the branches and the leaves and you see, oh, there's something just beyond, and it looks a little different. And like that idea that Xadia is vast, that its history goes back so far, that things have happened and of consequence, like it's really hard to work on, but it's also, we feel so lucky. Right? Don't we feel lucky?
Yes.
How lucky do you feel?
Very lucky. Very lucky.
Yes. Thank
Speak
you.
into my microphone.
Now, season 5, we really explore the ocean. The next season, we're looking to explore the stars. Am I right? What can we expect possibly from the stars season? I see a smile back there.
Do you have a joke you want to?
No,
do you got?
no, I'm just, we are
Spoilers?
sort of like working on it. So I'm just, we're all very passionate and excited about this show. And season 5 is, the first step into, for me, where the show really takes off. Season 5 is a lot of fun. It's a lot of
Usually
new
they say
great
the first 4 seasons were practice. We're just
yeah, it's a little bit of a warm up,
Yeah.
So no, and it's just, 6 is very, very exciting. I don't want to say too much. I think it's a little too spoilery.
Yeah, I
What do you
agree.
want to say?
But 6, if people are thinking, gosh, I've been wondering about Star Touch elves and some of this ancient, deep mythology and what is the mysterious starry stuff, it's like, we're going to deliver that. It's
How
coming.
do you kill a star-touched elf?
Well, we can't tell you that.
Wait.
I mean,
Have we figured that out?
yeah, exactly.
Well, that will be answered.
Yes.
That will be answered.
We do have an answer. Yes.
Now, when you guys are mapping out this series, and like we said, you wanted to go at the very least 7 seasons, from conception to production, how much of that changes, and do you kind of hold things back for further seasons that you'd want to explore?
I mean, I don't think we hold things back. I think more, there are definitely ideas that we sort of knew where we were going towards, right? But we didn't know the specifics. It's like, okay, well, we kind of know what Aaravos is doing and where he is and what his sort of end game is going to be. But it was like, how do we get there? We kind of had a vague idea of what Scumport became. Like, oh, they should have like an ocean adventure, and we wanted Velos, the character, also this Velos, but all the Veloses to come back and stuff like that. But we don't really. It's not like we sit down and go like, oh, well, here's everything that's happening, and then 3 years from now we're like, oh no, we wrote that down 3 years ago.
But there are some things, like I can think of specific things that I just saw, like as season 6 is coming back, that are like we literally talked about in like episode 2 that we're not paying off till season 6.
Yeah, so there's like big ideas I think like that, and then the broad strokes are there, and then the little stuff we get to fill in along the way, and sometimes they change, like we talked about with Ezrin and season 2 and his choice of which way to go and that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, we kind of know where we're headed.
Which character journey are you most excited for fans to explore in season 5? I mean, all of them, obviously, but which one would you guys individually say that you kind of connected with on a deeper level that you're excited for fans to see?
I don't know. That's a good question. I'm too close to it. It's very hard to separate them
I'm
out.
going to go veer in here. I think we saw foreshadowing of what he goes through in season 5 in season 4. But I think, this is I think just how raw he is and just how exposed and kind of reopened these old wounds inside him that probably were traumas that were scarred over and buried. But then, hey, you die and you get resurrected, and it turns out all this stuff is fresh and the damage is being felt, and as a result, he's grappling with it. And I don't know, I'm pretty excited for the journey Viren goes on. I don't know why I'm saying it very slowly. 2023.
I feel like you're being very careful with your answers to not give anything away.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, like it's a culmination story, you know, where season 4 was giving foreshadowing, and we see where he's gone and where he's arrived. And again, it's the thing I mentioned at the beginning when you talked about that duo. Which duo did you know, like that conversation with him and Aaravos is so different than the first time they talk. And the things that Viren needs and wants have separated from Aaravos, right? Are no longer things that Aaravos will give him. And I think that's really interesting.
Now, we are here at San Diego Comic-Con 2023. Let me ask you guys, I know that you guys have a panel coming up. Can you tease anything that we might see from that panel?
You will see a little extra security because we've had a couple of weird, I guess I don't want to call them threats, but messages from kind of Buccaneer types. We've got weird, like kind of piratey messages, and so there's going to be a little extra security that no nautical ne'er-do-wells or seafaring criminals, as they
No crabs with knives.
Called. We're going to be very careful that it's a nice, safe environment for everyone to enjoy the panel, and that's the only thing I would say. No surprises.
Yeah.
No surprises.
Definitely
eh?
no surprises.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see about that. Look, I thank you guys so much for stopping by Screen Rant. We appreciate it. Comic-Con 2023 is here, and I'm exhausted, and this is amazing. You guys are awesome.
This is the hardest interview you've had to do.
Yeah.
No, not at all. You guys are a pleasure.
You're a pleasure too. This was a really
you.
nice
Yeah,
interview.
Thank you guys
so much.
for coming by. And look, let's talk about season 6 next time, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's do it.
And then 7.
Yeah.
And then possibly 8.
Well, we'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Well, if there are enough people watch it, we can do whatever we want. Get all your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your wives. Tell your kids. Everybody watch it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much.